Hey, disciplined minds, have you ever asked yourself a simple but powerful question? Why do some people remain calm, steady, and even happy, no matter what life throws at them, while others fall apart at the smallest inconvenience? Think about it. Two people can go through the exact same situation. One loses sleep, complains, becomes angry, and feels like life is unfair. The other stays calm. They think clearly. They move forward without letting the situation destroy their peace. So what makes the difference? Is it luck? Is it personality? Or is it something deeper, something trained within the mind? The ancient Stoic philosophers believed that happiness was never something that came from outside circumstances, not from money, not from status, not from praise. Real happiness, they taught, comes from mastering your mind. Because when your mind is disciplined, when your perspective is strong, when your emotions are under control, you become almost impossible to disturb. Life will still bring problems. Difficult people will still appear. Unexpected setbacks will still happen. But instead of collapsing under pressure, you become stronger because of it. And this is exactly what Stoic philosophy teaches. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or pretending life is perfect. It is about developing mental resilience, emotional control, inner peace, and self-mastery, the kind of strength that allows a person to remain stable, even when the world around them feels unstable. In this video, we are going to explore 6 powerful Stoic lessons that can completely transform how you see life. Lessons that can train your mind to stay calm. Lessons that help you protect your peace. Lessons that allow you to remain happy, even when circumstances are difficult. These Stoic principles have guided emperors, philosophers, warriors, and leaders for centuries. And the beautiful part is this: anyone can practice them. But before we begin, do me a huge favor. If you truly want to master your mind, build emotional strength, and develop the kind of calm confidence that Stoic philosophy teaches, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also, hit the like button, because it helps this message reach more people who need it, and share this video with someone in your inner circle, a friend, a family member, or someone who is currently going through a difficult time, because sometimes the right idea, heard at the right moment, can change the direction of someone's life. And one more thing, make sure you do not skip any part of this video. Each lesson builds on the next, and the final lesson may be the most important Stoic principle of all. It is a lesson that many people overlook, yet it has the power to completely transform how you experience happiness in your daily life. So stay with me until the end. Now, let us begin with the first Stoic lesson. Lesson 1. Happiness begins with controlling your perspective. One of the most powerful ideas in Stoic philosophy is this simple truth: your happiness is not determined by what happens to you. It is determined by how you interpret what happens to you. In other words, events themselves are not the real problem. Your judgment about those events is what creates suffering. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus explained it perfectly when he said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." Think about how often this happens in daily life. Someone criticizes you. One person hears criticism and immediately feels attacked. They become angry, defensive, hurt. Another person hears the same criticism and sees it as feedback, an opportunity to improve. Same situation. 2 completely different reactions. Why? Because their perspective is different. And this is where Stoicism becomes incredibly powerful. The Stoics believed that we cannot control everything that happens in life, but we always control how we interpret those events. A delay at work, a disagreement with someone, a business setback, a difficult conversation. Most people immediately label these experiences as bad. But the Stoics encouraged a different approach. They asked a powerful question: what if this situation is not actually bad, but simply an opportunity to grow? Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the obstacle itself can become the path forward. When something difficult happens, most people immediately complain. They ask, "Why is this happening to me?" But the Stoic mindset asks a completely different question. What can this situation teach me? What strength can I develop because of this? What opportunity might be hidden here? This shift in perspective changes everything. Suddenly, problems stop feeling like personal attacks. They become training. Just like physical exercise strengthens the body, challenges strengthen the mind. Without resistance, muscles cannot grow. And without challenges, character cannot develop. Every inconvenience becomes a chance to practice patience. Every criticism becomes a chance to practice humility. Every obstacle becomes a chance to practice resilience. This is why Stoic philosophy is often described as a form of mental training. You are not trying to eliminate problems. You are training yourself to respond differently to them. And when your response changes, your emotional experience changes as well. Consider something simple. Imagine you are stuck in traffic. Most people become frustrated. They complain. They feel angry. They allow the situation to ruin their mood. But from a Stoic perspective, traffic is not the problem. Traffic simply exists. The frustration comes from the belief that things should be different. But once you accept the reality of the situation, the emotional suffering disappears. You might even use the time productively, to think, to reflect, to listen to something meaningful. Suddenly, the same situation that once caused stress becomes neutral, or even beneficial. This is the power of controlling your perspective. The Stoics practiced something called cognitive reframing long before modern psychology discovered it. They trained themselves to reinterpret events in ways that preserved their inner peace. Because happiness does not come from eliminating difficulty. It comes from mastering how you think about difficulty. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." When your perspective is strong, circumstances lose their power over you, and this is the first step toward becoming happy in any situation, not by changing the world around you, but by strengthening the mind within you. Because once you master your perspective, you begin to realize something profound. Very few things in life actually have the power to disturb you, and that realization alone can bring a deep sense of calm. Lesson 2. Train yourself to find opportunity inside discomfort. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid discomfort. They avoid difficult conversations. They avoid challenging work. They avoid situations that make them feel uncertain, embarrassed, or uncomfortable. But Stoic philosophy teaches something radically different. Discomfort is not the enemy. Discomfort is a teacher. And once you understand this, your relationship with life begins to change. Because the truth is this: almost everything that makes a person stronger is uncomfortable at first. Discipline is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Learning new skills is uncomfortable. Changing your habits is uncomfortable. But these very things are also the path to inner peace, emotional resilience, and true happiness. The Stoics understood something that many people today still struggle to accept. Hardship is not punishment. Hardship is training. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacle itself can become the path forward. Think about the strongest people you know. They did not become strong because life was easy. They became strong because life was difficult. Every challenge forced them to develop something within themselves: strength, patience, discipline, wisdom. These qualities rarely grow in comfort, they grow in resistance. Just like muscles grow through resistance in physical training, character grows through resistance in life. This is why Stoic philosophy teaches the discipline of reframing discomfort. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the Stoic asks, What can this teach me? This one question changes everything. A difficult boss becomes a lesson in patience. A setback becomes a lesson in resilience. A failure becomes a lesson in strategy. Even emotional pain can become a lesson in self-awareness. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche expressed a similar idea when he wrote, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." But the Stoics took this even further. They believed that hardship was not just something to survive, it was something to use. Because every uncomfortable situation carries hidden opportunities for growth. Yet most people never see them. Why? Because they spend their energy complaining instead of learning. They resist discomfort instead of studying it. They focus on the inconvenience instead of the transformation it can produce. But the Stoic mindset is different. The Stoic understands that life itself is a training ground. Every challenge is an opportunity to sharpen the mind. Every hardship is an opportunity to strengthen character. Every uncomfortable moment is an invitation to practice self-mastery. And when you begin to see life through this lens, something remarkable happens. Situations that once made you miserable begin to lose their power over you, because instead of asking life to become easier, you become stronger. This is one of the deepest secrets of Stoic happiness. When you stop fearing discomfort and start using it as a tool for growth, you discover something powerful. Very few situations in life are capable of stealing your peace, and that is the moment when happiness becomes possible, in almost any situation. Lesson 3. Protect your mental territory. One of the most powerful ideas in Stoic philosophy is the understanding that your mind is sacred territory. It is the command center of your life. Every decision you make, every emotion you feel, every action you take begins there. And yet, most people leave the gates of their mind completely unguarded. They allow every opinion to enter, every insult to enter, every fear to enter, every criticism to enter. Before they realize it, their inner peace has been invaded. The Stoics saw the mind differently. They believed the mind is like a city with strong gates. Not every visitor should be allowed inside. Some visitors come with wisdom, some come with encouragement, some come with truth, but many others come with noise, unnecessary opinions, negative assumptions, fearful thinking, and the careless words of people who do not understand your journey. If you allow all of these voices to enter freely, your inner world becomes chaotic. And when the mind becomes chaotic, happiness disappears. This is why Stoicism teaches the discipline of mental sovereignty, the power to decide what thoughts deserve your attention, and which ones deserve to be rejected. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of this daily when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about how often your peace is disturbed by something someone said, a comment, a criticism, a careless opinion. Sometimes these words stay in your mind for hours, even days. But here is the Stoic realization. Words themselves are powerless. They only gain power after you allow them inside your mind. The Stoics practiced something that modern psychology now calls cognitive discipline. Before accepting a thought as truth, they examined it. They asked questions like, is this thought useful? Is this criticism constructive? Is this fear based on reality or imagination? If the thought did not serve their growth or their peace, they simply refused to entertain it. The philosopher Epictetus explained it beautifully when he said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In other words, the outside world may present ideas, opinions, and judgments, but you decide which ones become part of your reality. Imagine how different your life would feel if you practiced this discipline daily. Instead of absorbing every negative comment, you examine it. Instead of reacting emotionally to every opinion, you filter it. Instead of letting fear dominate your thinking, you challenge it. Suddenly, your mind becomes calmer, clearer, stronger, This is the Stoic practice of protecting your mental territory. When your inner world is guarded with wisdom and discipline, external chaos loses its power. And this is one of the deepest secrets to being happy in any situation. Because when your mind is protected, your peace becomes difficult to disturb. So here is a simple affirmation inspired by this lesson. If you are ready to protect your mental territory and take control of your inner peace, write this in the comments section. I guard my mind and I protect my peace. Write it as a reminder to yourself and as a declaration of the kind of disciplined mind you are building. Lesson 4. Detach your mood from your circumstances. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to stay happy is this simple habit. They tie their mood to what is happening around them. If things go well, they feel good. If things go wrong, their mood collapses. When people praise them, they feel confident. When people criticize them, they feel discouraged. Their emotional state rises and falls like a wave, controlled by the events of the day. But the Stoics saw this as one of the greatest dangers to inner peace. Because if your happiness depends on external circumstances, then your peace will always be fragile. Life is unpredictable. Situations change, people change, opportunities appear and disappear. If your emotional stability depends on these things, your happiness will constantly be under threat. This is why Stoic philosophy teaches a powerful form of emotional independence. Instead of tying your mood to circumstances, you train your mind to remain steady regardless of what happens. In other words, your inner state becomes self-governed, not situation-governed. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free." And one of the greatest forms of courage is emotional discipline, the courage to remain calm, even when things do not go as planned. Think about how often people allow small events to control their entire day. A rude comment ruins their mood. A delayed plan causes frustration. An unexpected problem creates stress. But the Stoics practiced something very different. They reminded themselves that external events are neutral. It is our interpretation of those events that creates emotional disturbance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending problems do not exist. It means refusing to surrender control of your inner world. Because when your emotional state becomes dependent on circumstances, you give the outside world authority over your peace, and that is a dangerous habit. The Stoic path is different. Instead of asking life to behave exactly the way you want, you train your mind to remain stable, regardless of what happens. Success does not inflate your ego. Failure does not destroy your confidence. Praise does not control your identity. Criticism does not define your worth. You remain centered, calm, balanced. This is what Stoics called equanimity, the ability to maintain emotional balance in both good and difficult situations. The philosopher William James once observed something similar when he said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitude." And this is exactly what Stoicism teaches. When you detach your mood from your circumstances, you become emotionally resilient. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond with clarity. Instead of becoming overwhelmed, you stay composed. Instead of allowing the outside world to dictate your happiness, you create your own inner stability. And this is why this lesson is so powerful. Because once your happiness is no longer tied to external events, very few situations have the power to disturb your peace. You begin to realize something deeply liberating. Your happiness was never meant to depend on the world behaving perfectly. It was meant to come from mastering your mind. Lesson 5. Stop negotiating with your emotions. One of the most common traps people fall into is believing that every emotion they feel must be obeyed. If they feel angry, they react immediately. If they feel hurt, they withdraw. If they feel discouraged, they give up. In other words, they allow their emotions to become the decision makers of their lives. But Stoic philosophy teaches something very different. The Stoics did not believe emotions should control your actions. They believed emotions should be observed, understood, and managed. Because emotions are temporary, they rise quickly, and they fade quickly. But the decisions we make while under the influence of strong emotions can create consequences that last much longer. This is why Stoicism teaches a powerful discipline. Do not negotiate with your emotions. Instead, observe them. When anger appears, notice it. When fear appears, acknowledge it. When frustration rises, recognize it, but do not immediately obey it. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once explained, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And one of the greatest forms of self-mastery is learning to pause before reacting. Just think about it. How many problems in life start with an emotional reaction? A moment of anger leads to words that damage a relationship. A moment of fear causes someone to abandon an opportunity. A moment of frustration results in a decision they later regret. In each case, the emotion itself was temporary, but the decision made under that emotion became permanent. This is exactly why Stoic philosophy emphasizes emotional discipline, the ability to separate what you feel from what you choose to do. Marcus Aurelius practiced this constantly. In his private reflections, he reminded himself not to let sudden emotions control his behavior. He understood that emotions are natural, but they do not have to be authoritative. The Stoics trained themselves to create a small but powerful space between emotion and action. In that space, wisdom appears, clarity appears, self-control appears. Modern psychology now calls this emotional regulation, but the Stoics practiced it thousands of years ago. Instead of reacting immediately, they asked themselves simple questions. Is this emotion helping me think clearly? Will acting on this emotion improve the situation or make it worse? What decision would my calmer self make? These questions allowed them to step back from the emotional storm, and once the mind becomes calm, better decisions follow. The philosopher Viktor Frankl captured this idea beautifully when he said, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response." That space is where Stoic strength lives. When you stop negotiating with your emotions, you begin to control them. Anger no longer controls your actions. Fear no longer controls your choices. Frustration no longer controls your direction. Instead, your actions are guided by reason, discipline, and inner stability. And when emotions stop controlling your decisions, something remarkable happens. Your life becomes calmer, clearer, more intentional, and that is why this lesson is so powerful. Because once you stop allowing temporary emotions to make permanent decisions, you begin to experience a deeper kind of happiness, the kind that does not disappear every time your mood changes, the kind that remains steady in almost any situation. Lesson 6. Master the art of loving what happens. Now we arrive at the final lesson, and in many ways, it may be the most powerful Stoic principle of all, because if this lesson is truly understood, it has the ability to transform how you experience every situation in life. The Stoics practiced something known as amor fati, a Latin phrase that means love your fate, not tolerate it, not endure it, but love it. At first, this idea may sound strange. How can someone love difficult circumstances? How can someone love setbacks, delays, mistakes, or unexpected problems? But the Stoics were not suggesting that hardship is pleasant. They were teaching something far deeper. They believed that every event in life, whether pleasant or painful, is part of the process that shapes who you become. And when you begin to resist reality, you suffer twice. First, from the event itself, and second, from your resistance to it. Marcus Aurelius captured this wisdom when he wrote, A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it. In other words, the Stoic mind becomes like a fire. Whatever happens, it becomes fuel for growth. A delay becomes patience. A challenge becomes strength. A failure becomes wisdom. This is why Stoicism teaches the discipline of radical acceptance. Not passive resignation, but intelligent acceptance. The understanding that fighting reality wastes enormous emotional energy. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the Stoic asks, "How can I use this?" This shift is incredibly powerful, because the moment you stop wishing the situation were different, your mind becomes free to respond wisely, free to adapt, free to learn, free to move forward. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche expressed a similar idea when he said, "My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati," that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. Think about how much suffering in life comes from wishing things were different. People wish the past had not happened. They wish people behaved differently. They wish circumstances were easier, but reality does not change because we resist it. Peace begins the moment we stop arguing with reality. This is the deep Stoic secret to happiness in any situation. When you learn to accept what happens and then use it for growth, life stops feeling like a constant struggle. Every situation becomes meaningful. Every experience becomes useful. Every challenge becomes training. And when you reach this level of mental resilience, something remarkable happens. Life can still surprise you. Life can still challenge you. But very little can truly disturb your peace, because instead of resisting life, you begin to work with it. And this is the final Stoic transformation. You stop waiting for the perfect situation to feel happy. You develop the strength to remain steady in any situation, because once you learn to accept, adapt, and grow from whatever life brings, happiness stops depending on circumstances. It begins to come from within you. Dear disciplined minds, take a quiet moment now and reflect on the lessons we explored today. Think about the power of mastering your perspective, learning from discomfort, protecting your mental territory, detaching your mood from circumstances, refusing to let emotions control your decisions, and finally, learning to accept and use whatever life brings. These are not just ideas, they are practices that can reshape how you experience life every single day. Now, if you have decided to truly begin applying these Stoic principles in your daily life, I want you to demonstrate that commitment. Go to the comment section and write this simple affirmation: I master my mind, and I stay happy in any situation. Let that be your personal declaration that you are choosing discipline over reaction, wisdom over impulse, and inner peace over chaos. I will personally be in the comment section reading your responses, and I truly look forward to seeing the community of disciplined minds growing stronger every day. Also, remember this: another focused and practical Stoic lesson will be coming to this channel in just a few days, and the next video will be incredibly powerful, insightful, and capable of impacting your life in ways you may not yet imagine. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next lesson. And if you found value in today's video, please support the channel by clicking the like button and sharing this video with someone close to you, a friend, a family member, or someone who could benefit from these Stoic teachings. Finally, thank you sincerely for your time, your attention, and your willingness to grow. Until the next lesson, stay disciplined and keep mastering your mind.